Hello everyone and welcome to a new video from Your Overwatch. I'm Eddie the Chump and today we've got a bit of a fun news roundup for you. We'll be covering Blizzard's very recent ruling on third-party applications in conjunction with Overwatch, so that's apps like Visor or Pursuit specifically, some apparent further developments in the Dafran to Overwatch League story, and perhaps the coolest tie-in product yet that Blizzard have produced for Overwatch. Let's just say the dragon becomes even me. Right, so first things first, let's take a look at Blizzard's ruling about third-party apps. Community manager Tom Powers, who I've actually met, very nice guy, posted this to the forums yesterday. Hi everyone, recently we've investigated third-party applications designed for use while playing Overwatch, and we'd like to reiterate which of these applications are not permitted in Overwatch. To provide more clarity, any third-party application that impedes on the competitive integrity in Overwatch is not allowed. For example, a third-party application that offers users information such as enemy position, enemy health, enemy ability usage, or ultimate readiness creates an uneven playing field for every other player in the map. Additionally, these third-party applications breach the Blizzard end user license agreement as specified. And he goes on to show the relevant passage. Now, Tom goes on to detail that Blizzard's policy towards users that are found to be cheating or using hacks, bots, etc. are permanently banned from the game, but in this case with the third-party stuff, they're actually reaching out to users that they've detected are using these tools and basically warning them to stop or risk account suspension or ban. And what do you know? I had an email from Blizzard in my inbox this morning saying, Eddie, you've been a bad boy, stop using Pursuit. Now, just to be very clear, I never used or installed Visor, as I did think, and I made this point back in the video we made about it when it came out, that Visor's toolset did actually give you an unfair advantage, especially considering that most other people wouldn't be using it themselves. Now, there was the small point that for the most part, it didn't seem like the software worked that well, but in theory, having a tool automatically tell you when your enemies were likely to have their ultimates ready, like a form of bot game sense for players who hadn't developed it yet, could be a distinct advantage and therefore kind of borderline cheating. Now, I have to say I don't have that kind of harsh opinion of Pursuit, which was basically a tool that would analyze your previous matches and your statistical performance and give you tips and pointers to help you improve your game. It was very goal orientated, as it would allow you to compare your performance to the average from a rank that you were trying to get to. All of this extra functionality would happen post-match as well. It's not like Visor where it would tell you mid-game. It really did feel like an attempt to make a virtual coach for a player. So for me, with the Pursuit example, there's a bit of grey area. And one thing I want to do is take a look at the last paragraph from Tom Powers' statement. He says, "We take competition very seriously in Overwatch. The foundation of good competition is every player being equally equipped to compete against one another, but many third-party applications erode the level playing field in Overwatch we strive for." Now, this is just my own personal opinion. I both understand where Blizzard are coming from with this ruling and disagree with the sort of blanket banning of third-party tools in general. From their point of view, it must be a lot easier to just say nothing's allowed rather than just some things, because it's hard to police a more nuanced approach, as it would actually take quite a lot of resources to gain the knowledge necessary to make a judgment about whether an app was cheating or not. But on the flip side of that, the reason why a product like Pursuit had an audience that wanted to use it is precisely because Overwatch itself doesn't provide those self-analysis tools in the first place. For a player that is looking to seriously improve at a certain hero or a certain role, Overwatch the game provides very little tangible feedback. The medal system, as we've said many times before, is frankly not fit for purpose and actually quite counterproductive. Plus, you can't track those kind of stats after the match. And what do the player cards at the end really tell you? Nothing much. Some of them are ridiculously easy to get as well with certain heroes, which kind of undermines their value. In my opinion, deeper statistical analysis of your own play, alongside watching back your own matches over a prolonged period of time, is very useful as a learning tool. And if Blizzard are going to say to players who want that kind of functionality that they can't use third-party apps to do it, then the onus is on them to do a better job of stat and stat tracking within the game itself. Now, it's fairly easy for me to just say that, but we know that the Overwatch team has to prioritize what features they're developing at any one time. And seeing as we don't have demos yet in the game, I highly doubt that the more developed self-analysis tools that Pursuit aim to deliver to users would make their way into the game anytime soon. So the end result is, if you were the kind of person that did want to find out more about your own performance, you're just all out of luck from now on. You guys will have to let me know how you feel about this down in the comment section below. Like I said, I actually agree with real-time tools like Visor being prohibited, but getting rid of some stat tracking tools, that feels a bit like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I mean, I could be completely out of alignment with the community on this topic, and that's why I want your guys' opinion down below. Next up, we're going to be talking about those further developments in the possible return of Dafran to pro Overwatch competition. The YouTuber King Michael tweeted out yesterday, sources, Atlanta's Overwatch League team has signed Dafran. The deal is currently being reviewed by Blizzard while Dafran is vetted. If approved, Dafran will play under Atlanta's Overwatch League team in Season 2. Now, Michael explains in his video on the subject, which will be linked down below in the description, that the link between Dafran and Atlanta is quite strong because of Sephi's appointment as the new head coach for Atlanta, and Dafran obviously has history with him back from the Selfless days. Now, if you're a fan of Dafran and you want to see him play in the Overwatch League, this all sounds pretty good. But the part of Michael's tweet that really stood out to me was the whole the deal is being reviewed by Blizzard and Dafran is being vetted part. The idea that the developer could have final say on what players could or could not be in the league and take that decision about player recruitment away from the teams feels a bit icky and, dare I say it, a little bit big brother of them. I guess you can make the argument that in cases of serious or criminal behaviour, the league itself would need to have the authority to step in. I doubt that NBA, for example, would stand by and let a demonstrably racist player continue playing in the league. But I have to say, in cases like this and indeed the XQC situation from last season, the icky part is that I feel Blizzard are basing this vetting process on whether they think a player might be brand appropriate for the Overwatch League product. Are they too edgy, basically? And I do understand that. The Overwatch League is being firmly pitched at kids and families, but at the same time, I think actual gamer audiences really do appreciate some spice and some personality to their pro players, and I think if they get a bit too overzealous with this kind of stuff, then everything can start to feel a bit too sanitized. Like, yeah, I'm all up for some basic stuff like, are you a massive racist or homophobe? If yes, then no, you can't play. But it shouldn't be a case of, have you ever told an edgy joke? Well, then you're banned. Now, yes, it can be said that Dafran has done a little bit more than just tell an edgy joke, but nothing like criminally serious. We are still talking about video games here. Maybe I'm way off base with this. You guys will have to let me know down below. It's just in my experience, people who are amazing at things like Dafran is at clicking heads and tracking aren't usually like everybody else in terms of personality or behavior. I personally hope they let him sign. I believe in second chances. Now, for our last topic today, we're going to be very quickly talking about one of the coolest products ever released to have anything to do with Overwatch. The life-size Genji sword replica is now available for pre-purchase. Now, I'm just going to make this very plain for you. I am a hopeless man-child. I should be way too old for this kind of thing, but if you show me a sword from a game that lights up and makes all the cool ultimate sounds, I will literally throw money at my screen until it arrives at my house. Now, I must have picked Genji a collection of about 3 times in the 2+ years that Overwatch has been out, but I can't stop myself from wanting this, and I'm not ashamed of that. Maybe I should be, but I'm not. I am going to hide in dark parts of my house and surprise my friends and family by ulting them every time they walk by. Oh, if only Vine was still a thing. I mean, the only thing I will say is, it's not cheap. £180 is a lot of money for what is essentially a sword version of a greeting card that talks to you when you open it. But I guess at worst, at least now Genji cosplayers have a lot less work to do. What do you guys think? Do any of you think it's as cool as I do? Or do you think that the price tag's just a bit too high for what you actually get? And that's about it for today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a rating. If you never want to miss another video of ours again, please click the bell icon next to the subscribe button on our channel to join the notification squad. You'll be in great company. And finally, please follow the Your Overwatch Twitter. It's where you can find updates about new videos and other cool stuff. I've been Eddie the Chump, and until next time.